Well, I think there's a lot of opportunities and challenges for the church. And first, I should say that I think some of the challenges represent the most important opportunities. So the crisis and the chaos and the upheaval in our society leads to opportunities. And I think sometimes we try to minimize or look past or get through the chaos and upheaval in order to get to a better place. But we don't want to waste a crisis. There's a great phrase in leadership. We don't want to waste the crisis. And so we need to take a breath, be a non-anxious presence in the midst of crisis, and not waste it, and find a way forward as the church in this cultural upheaval. That means being ministers of peace in an age of anxiety. That means being helpful to people in their backstory and understanding why it is that they are who they are today, and yet what God calls them to in terms of living a better story. And so I think there's a tremendous number of opportunities with the next generation. They're open, they're smart, they're connected, they are anxious, they are ambitious. And I think this could all be formed in Christian community under the authority of Scripture into these communities of impact. And sort of like they want to live a life of meaning and impact. And the church is the very best place for them to be formed into those kinds of people. That's a huge opportunity. I think another huge opportunity is in terms of mental health and awareness and language around that. We have a crisis of loneliness and mental health and depression. Again, there's a lot of upheaval and personal struggle that people have with that. But that means there's a real opportunity for the gospel. People are spiritually open today in ways that are really remarkable. 84% of Americans say they're spiritually open, and there's a whole category of how we define that. But they're more open than we realize. But they're open to anything and everything. So I think we have to advocate for why openness is a good posture, but we need to close or have conviction around the very things that are the most true. And Jesus is the truest thing in the universe. So we should be open, but close on something that is stable. Like we build our houses, as Jesus says, on the rock and not on sand. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities. Use your prophetic imagination, an old Walter Brueggemann phrase, to imagine what God might be calling your community, your church, your leadership into. And don't run away from the crisis and the chaos, but lean into it and find out where God has some really gospel opportunities in all of that.